Noobs, when you heard the Ridley news, I know CH had a great question. I'm going to get to him in a second because I thought that was actually pretty funny what he put on the Twitter at What's Up CH about Ridley. But what did you think? Like, you played college football, you're around athletes all the time. Ridley had like 1,500 in parlays, like 3, 5, and 8 game parlays apparently in Florida at Hard Rock on a legal app. And he's out for a year where he's going to make $11 million. Crazy? Surprised? What did you think?
I mean, I was surprised that, it came out, and I honestly think, the way that they kind of handled it was kind of the right way to do it. I guess, you got to suspend the guy you had because it can't happen. You know what I mean? Like that simply can't happen. I think there's so many different angles that you can take it. And honestly, I'll even save us some time because I don't want to rehash it. I thought Jeffrey took a lot of the words out of my mouth, and the main word that he was using was hypocrisy. Is that we all want to make money on sports betting, and after you couldn't even say the word Super Bowl inside a book for your entire career, Dave, now, somebody was throwing in parlays while they were injured, while they weren't even, in state, and the most fucked up thing about all of it is if he was betting on a non-regulated sports book, if he was betting on an offshore sports book, no one would have ever even known about it. Like the reason was the alarm sounded. They said, he's using our app. If he was betting with a bookie or a offshore book, he would have had no issues. No one would have even known anything about it, which is what we as an industry, or, I say the industry, not we as an industry, I guess, but what the industry is trying to get away from, the dark, dingy corners. And if he was betting in those dark, dingy corners, guess what? He would still be betting, and his bookie would probably love him because he's playing 18 parlays. He's a bookie's best friend. I'm sure any book operator, Dave, that heard the story said, God, I wish we were taking his action. God damn it.
Exactly. I mean, and then CH goes on the Twitter and says something hilarious. CH, what was your question or your reaction when you saw it? But what did you put on the Twitter for those of listeners that may, or watchers of the show may have missed?
Well, I think the most important question out of all this is, did he hit any of these parlays? I mean, he had a 3, a 5, and an 8-leg parlay. Did he hit any? Probably not, because you probably would have heard about it, but doesn't he know you don't play an 8-leg parlay? I mean, Doobie will play an 8-leg teaser, but you don't play an 8-leg parlay.
Well, the problem was, CH, is he probably would have hit the teaser, but he put the fucking Falcons in the teaser. If he wouldn't, he just kept the Falcons out of it. I mean, he'd keep the Falcons out of the parlay, and he probably would have been cashing them like crazy. That was the main mistake that he made. He knows that locker room better than anyone. What the hell was he doing betting on the Falcons, Dave? Come on, man.
I don't know. I mean, so I say it every single week on the show. I say it on the Twitter. I say it in the videos. I say it everywhere. Nobody knows shit. Like, the guy is inactive, away from the team, and like CH, did you think, oh boy, this guy might know something? Like, this is bad? No. Like, not at all, right?
No, not at all. But you know what? They had to make an example, right? Because you know what? Nobody's going to do it again.
Yeah.
You might have some practice squad guy making $50,000 a year might do it, and he'll get suspended for life, and it'll be, it'll cost him nothing. But nobody that's on an active roster every week is going to place another bet.
Not even going to come close to even thinking about it, because that's what this did. Right,
Dave, I saw this other take on Twitter. I forget who put it out there, but they said their reaction to it was that every player on every NFL roster should have to bet a minimum of 10% on their team to win money line to ensure the biggest effort from all players. That's how they should do it. 10% automatically money line bet. You have to cover you have to be covering the number, 10% minimum. That's the way to do it. Then the integrity's it'll go through the roof, because everybody's got to win at that point, Dave.
It will go through the roof. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Like, and it's so funny, but like, there's a lot of like crazy ideas that came out. There's a lot of really crazy takes from a lot of people that came out, and a lot of the morality police came out. Oh, you can't do this.
Yep.
Oh, you can't do that. And I
Virtue
thought,
signaling. Yeah.
oh goodness gracious. I'm like, do you really think he's the only player that ever bet on a game? No, absolutely not. Do you think he's
You know they're all doing DFS.
well, that's the other thing that I think, Jeffrey didn't mention, but the hypocrisy of it is that fantasy is not gambling. They said that. That's their words. That's not my words. And that's certainly nobody's words in the book. They won that legal argument and they said fantasy is not gambling. So we can have players having fantasy shows now and like telling them, put me in the lineup. I'm going to get 2 touchdowns. The offensive game plan is designed to throw it to the right side, which is this wide receiver spot. You should play him. There's all that. And that's okay. But this isn't. I get it. The guys, you can't have the players gambling on the sports for perception wise, but you can't charge integrity fees either.
But
you can't have it both ways.
But the thing is, too, is part of the part where Calvin Ridley fumbled the ball was the fact that, he was using his own IP or his own unique account to place it. I think we're kidding ourselves if these guys aren't having their buddies or their family placing bets for them. There's no way to prove that they don't have a proxy betting for them. So, I think that that's another thing where I think this brought into light maybe something that nobody wanted to admit was happening. But now that there's the shining example that Calvin Ridley was betting on games, there's other players that are doing it. They're just maybe doing it a little bit more savvy than Calvin Ridley is in my opinion.
I can tell you, I don't remember now because it's been like a month and a half, but whoever was supposed to return the opening fucking kickoff in the Super Bowl to get me my payout obviously had money on the touchback. He might have done it himself. He might have had a proxy. It might have been his cousin, but somebody there made some money off of that.
You might be onto something, Dave.
You're absolutely right, because that ball was right on the damn goal line. All he had to do was catch it and run out, and he just ran by like he didn't even see it. Like, hey, I lost it in the lights. See you later. Cash my ticket.
So I had it like plus 175 too. Those motherfuckers.
You're absolutely right. There's a lot of things that I think it brought out, and I think it's gonna continue to bring out. And I hope people are ready for the conversations. These are all conversations that we've already had out in Vegas, for years, and know that the problems are going to happen, know that these things are going to come up, and they can be prevented. There's companies out there right now that are going to be monitoring services. They're going to be integrity this, they're going to be that, all these things. They're all full of shit too, but I mean, at least they're trying to keep it. If you take away the fact that the games are on the level, gambling is going to go down. And nobody wants that. That's in the business. So I see the point of it all. It's very interesting. The NFL got lucky that the free agency stuff happened today, because it's out of the news cycle until the next one happens. When that's going to be, who knows? I'm sure we're going to have some crazy ass draft prop thing come up where somebody put a line in wrong. I'd say this, I think the NFL, the books are more worried about the guy who's betting them and beating them than they are about a player betting them.
100%. That's the book's concern. This is an NFL concern. Right. And that's, and I had this kind of queued up for my take a minute, Dave, but that's, I don't think it's coincidence that this big quarterback signing and the Russell Wilson, it just happens a random Tuesday in March, the day after the Calvin Ridley news come up. I just think there was maybe some accelerated timelines after the Ridley news came out. And, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's another shining example of the NFL being the kings of damage control. There is nobody who can bury a lead better than the NFL, and I don't fault them for it. I mean, they know how the 24-hour news cycle works, and they play that shit like a fiddle.
Man, do they ever. They're so good at it.
Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, click on another video right here on the screen. And if you really liked it, consider subscribing below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.